Hey guys, so once again it's Vanity Yezo. We're on to our next part of the Katana deck profile. Excuse me if I do that a lot today because my throat's killing me, guys, so bear with me on this because I can't really talk that loud at all. So, first spells are Clear Serenity. You run this in any Katana deck, Injure Ninja at 2, and any Katana deck at 3, and then a mine at 4, because it gets you 3 gauge, so once per turn effect, but it's a counter. And even though you don't realize it, you actually use a lot of gauge for your finishers. So, my Clear Serenity, like, at least run it at 2, please, because actually it does help you get your gauge cost for your finisher that you don't know you use that much, actually. Next spell, Demon Way Kiribushima. Actually, my favorite one in terms of abilities, because the next time you take damage by anything for this turn, it's reduced by 2. So, for example, if you're being attacked, you can cast this as you're being attacked and say, no, reduce it by 2. If you're needed life to use spells or item equips, you go, no, reduce it by 2. I don't take it, basically. Or, like, impacts, if they don't say that they can't be reduced, you can reduce it by 2. So, like, oh, what's this? You're going to hit me with Diabolical Hardcore, which does 3 damage. No, reduce it by 2. Or, if you're playing in a mirror match, and they nullify your card, you can go, no, reduce by 2, so I don't lose. So, that run it at 4. I run it at 1 because I only own 1. Same with Clear Serenity. Like, run it at 4 in any card one deck. It's actually really good. It's one of my favorite cards in the game. Shooting Cross, nice right hand. It's horrible. Don't run it unless you need filler space like I do. It's pay gauge to use when your opponent attacks your right monster. Destroy everything on their field after nullifying the attack. What's stupid about this is that your opponent's never going to attack the right. If they ever attack the right, then they're stupid, or it's like, oh, you want to, never mind, I'm going to lose this game anyways. Might as well attack the right monster for no apparent reason. It's a waste of gauge. Only run this if you need filler space, guys, okay? I run at 2 because I actually need the filler space for it. Next spell. I hate that spell, by the way. Art of Item Blasting. In every deck that is highly reliant on an item existing, except for 2, that's Dimension Dragons and Dragon Blood Sect. This card works really good. It's pay 2 gauge to use, but destroy an item. What's that galaxy formation you want? You need an item to use your best move? No. What's that your G? You want your dog attacking item? No. What's that your ninja? You want your item that gives you better impact? No. What's that Cosmo Man? No. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how much soul you have. What's that Electro Deity? No. Screw them. This is really good. It's actually a really good card. I would run it at like 3 in this meta. Same. I only run 2 because I only own 2, but 2 seems to work for me. And run it at 3 in this meta, actually. Next up is, in terms of art, it's my favorite spell, but still based on luck. 100 Demon Sorcery Hurakuran. It's a nullify. I run this at 2, never run more than 3, because it's put top card of your deck into drop zone. When you're being attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do, if that card's a monster, nullify the attack and gain 2 life. Problem is, this is based on pure luck, and since this is in a control deck, you're more likely to have more spells than actual monsters itself. So, especially in this deck, where you want to have more defenses than actual offense, that kind of sucks to be in. So, it's based on luck, but it actually does. Like, one of my favorite moves is take 2 damage from an attack, then go Hurakuran, and then sometimes when I reveal that monster, it's like, cool, I nullified basically 2 attacks in a row. Let's go, baby, for the cost of only 2 cards. That's beautiful. Run this at 3, I run it at 2 because, like I said, you can run it at 3, you can run it at 2. Just like run it at 2 or 3 because it's actually really good, but it's based on luck. So, your choice on that. Or you cannot run it at all. I mean, my opinion, it works for me. Next spell, 100 Demons, Tome of Judgment. Technically, it's not a, nullified, but it's when you get to 5 life or less, discard your hand, draw 3. So in this deck, I've actually been in situations where I get down to 5 life or less, even though my nullifies help me survive the turn, but I still get to 5 life or less. And then, since I basically have 0 hand cards at that point, I'm kind of like refilling my hand. So sometimes it saves me, sometimes it doesn't, but I run it at 3. Once I get better spells, I'll probably cut this down, but yeah, definitely a good card. I say cut that for like more Kishibias, and cut the Shooting Cross Knights for Clear Serenities. Demon Way Geppuku Giri, 3 copies of. It's just when your monster dies, destroy one of your opponent's monsters. So really good card to like get comeback. Like say your monster dies and they can go Geppuku Giri, destroy your opponent's monster. A fun play that I've made before is like when I take 2 damage from the attack and I have Hurakuran in my hand along with this. I have a monster on my field. They hit my monster. I cast Geppuku Giri to destroy their other one. Then I take damage from their other attack, and then I go Hurakuran. Oh no, I cast Hurakuran for the other attack. And then sometimes if I reveal a monster, it's kind of like, oh hey, look, I survived your whole turn without taking any damage, and I gained 2 life. And against Gyarados, it kind of works because that means you're kind of pushing back like 3 of their 4 attacks if you get lucky enough. I would still run this at 3 if I had more, so run at 3 because it's a good comeback card. Demon Way, Norohikigami. Pay a gauge, you may only cast if your opponent attacks your center. Destroy it, and then if the card attacking was a size 2 or less, destroy it. Here's what I hate about this card. They have to attack your center, as in there has to be a monster in your center, otherwise this card does not go off. It was this close to being good, but it does not go off if they do not have a center if you do not have a center monster. That's what sucks, but considering the fact that it's this deck where you're probably going to have something in your center at all times, unless they nuke it by an effect, you are guaranteed going to be able to use this card. So I was just running it at 2. I run it at 3 because I have no better options. I mean, do you want to see Cross Knives again? Cross Knives again. Next up, 4 copies of Art of Bottom Placement. You run this at 4 in any Katana World deck because it's their best nullify. It just nullifies an attack unless it's a link attack. It's Solomon Shield for Katana World, but to be fair, it's a really good nullify. Okay, guys? Run it. Let's see that like Sugikage, then I believe that's Hayate. It's really good. Next up is the Impact. We don't run out of it because it's Katana World. So, our first one is Secret Sword Lethal Formation. The other 2 kind of go into it. It's a set card, so you go Final Phase, and then you set it. Choose a card from your hand, drop zone, or deck, and put it face down to its soul. And then if you search your deck, you shuffle it. And then it has a continuous ability where you may look at this card's soul and cast a Secret Sword from it by paying its cast cost. So the 2 Secret Sword impacts that I run, you cannot activate them from your hand. You have to have them into this thing's soul. And that's like what I said earlier, like what the better Sukikage does, because they force your opponent to set off the trap so they can actually do something. My favorite one, and the one that probably does the best in this meta, is Secret Sword Shooting Star. Pay 3 gauge when you're being attacked by an opponent's item. If this card is in the soul of Secret Lethal Formation, you may cast it. It says you cannot cast it from your hand, like I said earlier. So it's pay 3 gauge to cast, deal 3 damage, and destroy their item, and the attack is basically nullified. Pretty cool, and like in a meta like this, all their items are destroyed unless if it's what's it called? Cosmo Man, and in that case you would go Art of Item Blasting first. Normally you want to have 5 gauge for this. Art of Item Blasting, nuke their Cosmo Man. That's guaranteedly 1 soul down. Then this thing, that's 2 soul and then 3 damage, so their attacks get shut down. But what's fun about this is that if they went first and they equip Cosmo Man on their first turn, that means that whole soul is gone, and that means he leaves the field. A good card to run in this meta, but only run every Secret Sword that you actually would run in a Katana World deck like this at 1, because this thing can search it. Run this at 2 or 4, and then run any of these Secret Swords at 1. Moonfang. Same cast cost, but it works only when your opponent casts an impact. Deal 3 damage and nullify the impact. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this gets around impacts that say their damage cannot be nullified or reduced, because it doesn't say the impact can't be nullified, it just says the damage can't be nullified, such as D2 Gargantua Punisher, Tri-Star Decision, Thunder Dragon Tornado, Ostium Photon Wave, the thing that Dragon Blood Sect used. I don't remember what it is, so don't blame me for that one. And I believe Principle of Godspeed, I'm pretty sure that's 1. I don't know properly. Pretty sure it is, though. So, it just nullifies the impact and does 3 damage. These are both counters, so they can activate during whenever. Most of the time, they're going to be during your opponent's turn. This also works against, what's it called? This also works against Prism Dragon, since their impacts work during your final phase. It says counter, so you can use it during anyone's final phase when they cast an impact. So really good. Like I said, only run this one in super lethal formation, which I don't own unfortunately, at 4 or 2 each. And run any secret sword that you own that's not one of those 2 at 1. I'm sorry, I'm really sick right now. This is not going well. So that was really the deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been waiting so long to do this. If you'll see that the fact that the first video came out a day earlier than this one, and that was because there was an issue with recording because my iPad was kind of backed up on things. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Tomorrow we'll be posting our next vid. By the way, we will only post deck profiles on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then we'll post the fights on Fridays guaranteedly, and then either Saturday or Sunday or all 3 days. Oh, and by the way, on Monday we will be posting deck profiles, and we will be posting what's it called? We'll also be posting deck profiles and fights on Monday since it's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Days, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I'm going to put my Patreon link in all my videos now. So, thank you guys. You guys are amazing. If you want a particular fight or a particular deck shown on the channel, shout us out. Give us put it out in the comments and donate to our Patreon. I'll attempt to make it happen, and one day or later, I will definitely make that happen for you guys, because you viewers are the thing that keeps us going. So, thanks a lot, guys. See you next time. And don't forget to check us out.